girl. Good job.
Yeah, she'll just go into a trot straight up for you.
So I've been tacking her up and just walking her around in the tack because she got a bit nervous at her old place when I trialled her and we tacked her up. Not, nervous bad, but she was definitely anticipating the work and being ridden. And I don't want it to be like, when this goes on, this happens. I want her to be okay with it because for, pony club reasons, sometimes we do just have to tack them up and prove that we can. And all that, and then she could stand there for half an hour without anything happening, and I wanted her to be calm and okay with it. Apparently she's a bit girthy. No, not for me. The girth is actually a size too small. Once she gets a bit fatter and she goes out on proper pasture, she's going to need a bigger girth, and so I'm like pulling and I'm cranking this girth. She doesn't even care. Like, she flicks her tail a bit, but there's no, ears back, kicking, nothing. I've already bridled her. She's an absolute gem to bridle. She, opens her mouth and grabs the bit. So I'm not too concerned about any of that. It was just the girthing process, which she's completely fine with. I'm just giving her a pat. I stretch out her leg here to make sure there's nothing, caught, because that's a way to make a horse girthy. But yeah, she was absolutely fine. I didn't have any issues at all with this. To trial her, they had a mounting block. She didn't like it at all. So here I'm just getting her used to it, making sure she's comfortable with it. I'd already done a session with her on this the night before, so she was pretty much okay. However, today was the first time I was getting on her, so I really wanted to make sure that she wasn't going to randomly run off from it. Then I start jumping on the mounting block, again, just getting used to it. She's mainly had people just legged up as a racehorse, so she's not really entirely, okay with it. And then I'm just laying over her back and pushing a little bit because she was apparently a little cold back when they first rode her after her break, and she was fine, honestly, really not an issue at all. When I do get on her, which I think I do now, she wanders off. It's not ideal. I don't like it when horses wander off, but Justice still does sometimes. My sister's horse still does sometimes, so I'm not all that concerned. Plus, I went back and redid it that once, and she stood. It's just going to take some time for her to realise that that's what I expect every time. I took her for a little ride after a little bit more mounting block training. She was brilliant. She didn't put a hoof on. I did just walking and trotting and, some stops. No canter, as I'm her fourth ride in 4 years, sorry. That's a long break and not very many rides, and the ground was quite hard. So I'm thinking about lunging her when the weather cools down, and when I'm allowed to take her out of her paddock, because right now she's still in quarantine. That's where I'm riding, in her paddock. I did some trotting in lines. I did a bit of a circle in a trot, and honestly, she's great. Is she 100% comfortable right now? No, but I believe that might have something to do with the footing and her hoofs. She needs a bit of a trim. So I'm going to get all that done, and then she'll eventually get shoes. Like when I, start deciding that, I do want to canter and I want to start her over some jumps, she will get shoes. She'll get shoes earlier if she needs it in the arenas. But she's quite happy just barefoot in the paddock. Here I'm making sure that she'll just stand while I drop my reins, touch her ears, touch her bum, touch her shoulder, and she did. And then a tap of my leg and she's forward. She's very responsive, very, very soft on the mouth. She's just got a double jointed bit, like a French link, and it's fine. I reckon I could probably ride her bitless. I don't have any bitless bridles, so I won't, but I probably could. So that was all I did, really. Here's a bit more of a trot. I ride a bit like an idiot in some places to see how she'd react, and she honestly didn't care less. She just kept going in the direction I pointed her at the pace that I asked. So I'm really, really impressed. I can't wait to see what else we can do when we really start working. Good girl. Calm. Good girl. Calm. Good girl. Back. Yeah. Calm. Good. Well done.